Hello there, this is AI Bill with AJ, and I'm back to you with another video. This is Agent Fintel V3. But before we get into that, I'm going to discuss V2 as promised in the last video. Let me see. Alrighty, we are going to grab this folder path here. And this is already preset. So we're going to run our agent here. Let that do its thing. Still thinking about it. Let's see. Okay, it's already running, so we just hit run agent again and just triggered it. So looking good so far. Sorry for the delay. So as you can see, just off visuals, you see here this forecast button. That is a part of the V2. And also the other part of the V2, which I showed in the video, was the output of the PDF files. I made it darker, opposed to the traditional white. I made it more I branded it essentially. So let's go. This is our analyze page. We know about that. This is our recommend page. I also, okay, nope, no. Let me see. Okay, that's part of V3. Don't worry about that. But V2, okay, so we have our V2 here. We started our controls. I'm flirting with the idea of actually just making these structured opposed to having to resize them. I'm seeing that this can be tedious. I built it based off my developer feel. I like to move things around the controller canvas, but it's neither here nor there. I know everyone is not like that, so let's continue on. We can choose 3, 6, or 12 months for our forecast. Let's do 3. No, actually, I'm not sure what I did the last video, but let's just do 12. We can do conservative, which is a steady pace, balance, allow for change, aggressive, which accounts for sharp turns. Let's live on the edge a little. We're gonna run the forecast. And as you see, all of the other objects get populated based off of running that forecast. So you press this to expand it. Yeah, I'm considering it because look at this. I had to resize it and everything, but it's neither here nor there. We have our revenue aggressive, it's growing. Have our history used. We use 22 months of history to get these projections. My apologies. Forecast fit is a weak fit, 39.0%. And then if we press this, which is export PDF, this is the portion I was referring to earlier in regards to branding it. We have Agent Fintel, which is SMB, is Small Business Financial Intelligence Suite. Essentially, that's what this is. But this will be packaged up and essentially turned into a agentic tool and or packaged up and just be a skill in general. It's pretty flexible. So let's continue on. So V3, that is the premise of this video. V3, now if we go back to recommend, you can see that we have some more information here. The scenario engine. So essentially what this does is based off of the data, the files that we have. Let me backtrack. I did recall in the video V2 that Fintel is only concerned with one document. So you see we have multiple documents, right? We have CSV, PDF, and Excel. It can read all of these. Everything still works in general. And this is just, I need to omit this. This gets ignored anyway. This is based off, it's almost like a receipt after a service was provided. But in a sense of generating the data. The profit loss and the vendor's invoices, these are all good quality documents, and Fintel takes these into account. But Fintel also believes that a bank statement is more streamlined and it's on the pulse, the true pulse of the business. I mean, because actually seeing itemized transactions for money going in or money coming in and money going out is, I mean, that's pretty much the pulse of any business. So it decided to um, negate the other documents and pull out the bank statement. So the cleanest bank statement out of these is going to select essentially. But I mean, that's pretty much it. So when you go here to analyze, and in V1, if you recall, we can move this around to go through all 5 documents. And if you can look here, it may be a little hard to see. We have 1-1 signifying that it only read one document, and it was the bank statement.csv as we just seen over here, because this is a CSV file. Alrighty, so that was the end of V2. So now back to V3. We have our scenario engine, and we also have our variance intelligence. So let's go back to our scenario engine. This is basically more insight on the scenario, the true health based off of experience. So essentially, I scraped the internet. I know I'm a bad boy, but I scraped the internet and got years worth of pretty credible information, put it on a markdown file, and the agent takes that information and compares the numbers from that bank statement CSV, and it falls within the certain rules that we have set up already. And it finds the best match, and it gives you the scenario, and which is the revenue decline. Stabilize, reverse revenue decline within 30 days. And you see identify top 10 customers by revenue and check for changes in order volume, and so on and so on. So that was one portion of V3. And then we go back to analyze. And what you see here is a variance intelligence. So what this does, it compares what the actual numbers was to the actual projection. And this gives us it's a stricter comparison, essentially. So as you can see, total expenses of $381,052,525 exceeded budget by 19,076 cents, which is 5.3%. The primary driver is payroll, accounting for 46% of the variance. And then I almost forgot about this. Let me see. And you see this little graph over here, this little pie chart, just a little bit more representation, a little visual. See, software is, of course, it's all negative, but this is a smaller portion of what we're talking about, what we're seeing here. So if you see the payroll is 46% of the total variance. And this is also, if you didn't know, this is tied to the expenses. Oh, let me close this out. Okay. So it is tied to the expenses. Now, in order to really see the itemized expenses, this is acting weird. Let me see. We have to go here. All right. Then you have your payroll here. Okay, I see another feature I'm gonna add. This would be like a V3 feature. Let me see if it works though. Let's try it out. Ah, it works here. But I want to have my own built-in search filter. So as you can see, we have payroll. Scroll all the way to the top. Make sure we don't miss anything. You see all the outgo. Definitely the most common, the most reoccurring keyword, I would say. All the other, I mean, along with vendor. Okay, so I see we have to make a tweak there. I'm making a mental note of that. And let's get out of there. Let's see. Was that everything? I believe it was. So we add our scenario engine. It gives us additional metrics, as I mentioned before, additional information on how do we want to operate or how do we want to maneuver based off of this information, off our bank statements. This is actionable insights. You get here, you get a screenshot of 4. These are things that you can do to improve within 30 to 60 days, just making small changes, small but yet highly leveraged changes. That's the best road to go. So I believe that's everything we have here. Be on the lookout for V4. We are going to have a bigger feature added, so it'll be a little bit more to look at. Yep, that's everything. Oh, let me go here. I guess I didn't go over this part of the feature as well. My apologies. But this has always been here. This is the revenue, the expenses, and our net profit, which is our 3 KPI cards. Or some of our key metrics, our main key metrics here. And as you can see, this also moves, which I think is pretty neat as you filter. So you see I'm on expenses here, go to revenue, boom, that changed. And then of course we chose the sharp turn, the aggressive scenario. So as you can see here, based off the data that was generated or that was used for this demonstration, we have some projections here, 12 months that will, be pretty useful if acted upon. So that's it. I hope you guys have a blessed day and bye bye.